Game week 10 is done. We are here with a review show. I'm Lucas, your host. This is unPUNDITRY. Kids should be asleep. PlayStation turned off. With me is Stuart. Say hello.
Hello.
Cool. First game of the week, we had Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Newcastle winning 2-0. It was a very close game. I predicted 0-0 for this game. It was very, very close. Two late goals from Newcastle, I think from Joelinton and Callum Wilson. It was a great win for Newcastle. Good 3 points. It sees them sit in the 10th spot on the table. And I don't know about you, but I can really see the similarities between Joelinton and Jimenez. I think their movement is really similar. Their pace, their ability on the ball, I can really see draw parallels between the two. I thought Darlow had a really good game in goals. Again, extremely underrated goalkeeper. He's had a great season. Part of the reasons why Newcastle are 10th. And again, for Palace, I think the missed chances were the talking points for this week. I think Palace have won 2 from 17 when Zaha is out, and it's a big stat. Callum Wilson was my man of the match.
I said last week that Newcastle's offense will be boosted with Callum Wilson back, and it was. He did turn into a freak of nature, and Newcastle in the last 5 minutes of the match turned into 2015 Real Madrid. So for my same game multi, I had Newcastle to win. I had Callum Wilson to have one or more shot on target, which I both won, but I did lose both teams to score. Never trust Crystal Palace to score on any day. On to the next one.
We've got Brighton versus Liverpool, 1-1. I think Liverpool were extremely average the whole game. I think they created 6 shots for the whole game. That's unheard of for Liverpool. The penalty for Brighton, apparently there was a clear and obvious error. So the referee looked at the monitor and gave the pen. I think Brighton deserved the draw, once again illustrating that they're probably one of the best football playing teams in the Premier League. And Maupay has lost the plot. I think he's lost the plot. Missed the penalty. He got taken off in the first half. You could see his confidence is really going downhill. I think you've probably seen the stat. Liverpool have 8 VAR decisions against them. That's 4 more than any other team. Blah blah blah. That doesn't matter. I want to talk about what they do in the Eredivisie real quick. The lines that they draw, I think they've gone against FIFA regulations. The lines that they draw on the players, like the defender, last man, and the forward, if those 2 lines are actually touching, I think it's a 5 centimeter scale. If those 2 lines are touching, it's not offside. So I really like that, and I think it's going to, if it gets, included in that officiating in the other leagues, I feel like that will cancel out any ambiguities. Just a thought. Basuma was my man of the match.
Brighton, once again, I said they suck against Liverpool. They conceded twice in the first 8 minutes of last season's game. But Liverpool were coming from a very average performance against Atlanta, and this seemed to continue. And I said that a weak defense could be an issue. I had Liverpool and Brighton to draw, which I'm very happy with. Both teams to score, which I'm very happy with. However, over 2.5 goals. It should have been under 2.5 goals. Maupay completely lost the plot. Have absolutely no faith in him. However, Welbeck did have an okay game, especially against someone like Liverpool. He seems to be a nice, level-headed striker, and I'm a fan of him because I'm an Arsenal fan. On to the next one.
Next one, we've got City versus Burnley. City winning 5-0. I predicted 4-0. I underestimated City. Mahrez with a hat-trick. It was a great display from City. Bouncing back, De Bruyne played well, but there was no real pressure on City. They were flying throughout the game, barely didn't do too much. City need to ride the wave. They need to continue this form. Riyad Mahrez was my man of the match.
I feel I'm actually psychic because I'm reading these notes that I had last week and pretty much everything's fucking bang on. I said I expect KDB to step up this game and it's going to be straight domination by City. I had Man City to win, yes. However, I didn't have Kevin De Bruyne as an anytime goal scorer. Maybe he should have. However, he did pull up 2 assists, so you can't really blame him on the day. And Jesus to have 2 or more shots on target, which was odd because he did have a quietish game. It was more so play through the wings rather than up the centre of the pitch. On to the next one.
Everton versus Leeds. Leeds winning 1-0. I thought it was a fantastic keeping display from Pickford and Melier. I think it was 5 and 9 saves, respectively, between the two. There were goal line clearances. There were people hitting the post. It was a very, very exciting game, as we thought it would be. I think both teams could have won. Everton disallowed a goal, ruled out by VAR. I think it was a good call. They're the decisions that VAR should be, you know, being used. Well, it's being used well in those situations. Yeah, I think Jack Harrison was my man of the match.
Everton Leeds. Digne is out for 2 months. I said Iwobi was most likely to step up at wing back. He had an okay game. I'll explain that later on in the fantasy picks. I said it'll be interesting to see a middle of the park battle between Phillips and Doucouré. It was quite interesting, and it was pretty much a deadlock with Rafinha scoring a pretty much banger from outside the box. I had Everton to win, which I lost. James Rodriguez had one more shots on target. Safe leg. And yes to both teams to score. Kind of an average multi there. On to the next one.
West Brom versus Sheffield. West Brom winning 1-0. Huge win for West Brom. Sheffield created chances, but again, they're not putting anything away. Ollie Burke started for Sheffield. For Sheffield against his old club. Don't know why. 22 million signing Brewster on the bench. These are the games he should be playing. Give him some minutes. Get him accustomed to the squad. Chris Wilder, is he a bit overrated? Probably. He had his time. I'm not sure if he's the right person right now. Sheffield just dwindling in form. Bit of hope from West Brom. It's a good match, good win for Slaven Bilic. You could see it meant a lot to them after the game. Mateus Pereira was my man of the match.
I had under 2.5 goals. I had Ollie McBurney to have one or more shots on target. He had a good game. Didn't score again, but aerial monster, putting on shots on target. And I had Sheffield to win. I thought this was going to be a Sheffield game that will probably bounce back, but they didn't. On to the next one.
Southampton versus Manchester United. United winning 3-2. It was definitely a game of two halves, this one. It was a good game to watch, very entertaining. I thought it'd be Southampton winning 3-2, but just the wrong way around. Southampton were great in the first half. I thought they were playing the ball around in the midfield really, really fluidly, getting triangles going, setting through Che Adams and Walcott. Ward-Prowse, again, scoring a free kick, showing that he's probably one of the best dead ball specialists in the league. But then Cavani came on second half, changed the game. His movement was world-class. Didn't touch the ball too much, but he didn't really need to. Scored a brace, scored the winner. Good win. Very good win for United. Ole bringing it back again, shutting up the haters. Bruno was my man of the match.
Cavani looks world class right now. He's being in all the right spots at the right time, scoring 2 against a team that has been ultimately, I think it was the fewest shots conceded per home game than any other side in the Premier League. And I said it was against an average United attack, but now with Cavani, he looks... United are a different team than that of what they were 5 or 6 weeks ago. I had Southampton to win, which I lost. I had over 2.5 goals, and I had James Ward-Prowse, dead ball specialist, to kick one in, and he did. Unreal. On to the next one.
Next one, we had Chelsea versus Spurs. 0-0, an extremely cowardly game, I feel, for both teams. Neither team wanted to lose. It was really clear. No one was taking too many risks. Chelsea did have the more amount of chances, but didn't put them away. I think the draw was a fair reflection of how the game went. Spurs go top on goal difference. Chelsea remain third, and Hugo Lloris was my man of the match, even though I couldn't really choose one.
This was a very even match across the board. However, Chelsea probably should have won this. Reece James just giving ball after ball after ball to the most useless of strikers in Tammy Abraham, who once again does not show up in big games. I had Tottenham to win this. I apologise. I thought I had no doubt Tottenham would win this, but they did not. Under 2.5 goals, which I won, and Harry Kane, anytime goal scorer. On to the next one.
Next one, Arsenal versus Wolves. Wolves winning 2-1. The game was kind of overshadowed, I think, by Jimenez's injury, his head injury. I think he's going to be out for a few months. It'll take a while for him to get back. Wolves looked a lot more fluid than Arsenal. I feel like that was aided by Adama Traore's first start since September. He caused Tierney all sorts of problems. I think he's had the most amount of successful take-ons per minute ratio in the Premier League. I don't think Arsenal getting top 4, top 6 is going to be a stretch for them if they continue the way they are. Also, Arteta said Aubameyang needs to score goals if we want to be successful. That's just piling on the pressure for Aubameyang. I don't know what he's doing with what he's saying. That's extremely pointless. It's true, but he doesn't need to say those things. Adama Traore was my man of the match.
I thought Adama would absolutely kill in this game due to Arsenal's very slow backline, and as Rob Holding said it himself, what do you want me to do? Adama is built like a brick shithouse. I had Arsenal to win, which I lost. I had under 2.5 goals, which I lost. I had both teams to score no, which I lost. I'm just Arsenal, man. There's absolutely nothing to say. That you think it will be solved when you bring Pepe back in the side. You think it will be solved if you play a few more youngsters around. The next thing on my mind is bring back Ozil. Once you do that, it's still shit. I have no other.
I think there's a window where they can. There's a window where they can.
Then Arteta
out. Also,
yeah,
I think,
January, but he can play FA Cup games.
Yeah, I think if you're going into betting against or in Arsenal games, you should think how much are you willing to lose to see Arsenal win a game. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So like would you pay $10? Would you pay $10 to see Arsenal win?
Shit. Man, I paid $10 to see Aubameyang stall purely because he's in my fantasy side and I'm not going to get rid of him.
Why? Get rid of him. I've already got rid of him.
Yeah, but I have to draft him. Anyway, so on to the next one.
Leicester versus Fulham. Fulham winning 2-1. Ivan Caballero rising to the occasion, ending Fulham's run of missed penalties, scoring what turned out to be the decisive goal for Fulham. I thought Fulham deserved to win, and Brendan Rodgers also said that Fulham deserved to win. I think Fulham closed Leicester down really well. They didn't give them opportunities to play on the break, play quickly. A different Fulham this week, a better Fulham. They get out of the bottom 3 also. Caballero was my man of the match.
Caballero is your man of the match. Did you
he won the
even
game.
watch Lookman?
Mate, Lookman is great.
Insane.
Lookman is in my fantasy. He's very
Caballero
good.
scored a fucking penalty.
Yes, he won the 3 points. I don't care, mate. I don't.
Fucking Caballero. I had Leicester to win, which I lost. I had over 2.5 goals, which I won, and I had Jamie Vardy to score 2 or more goals. In was arguably a shocking performance by him. Nothing really to say. Fulham Fulham are changing things up in their forward line. They're still tinkering around. Lookman seems to be a rock on that left mid, but they're really changing between Cordova-Reid and Caballero up front. I thought Cordova-Reid could save his spot, but dropped this week, and it seemed to pay off. On to the next one.
Last game of the week, we had West Ham versus Aston Villa. West Ham winning 2-1. A game that, again, could have gone either way. I think Ollie Watkins had a game to forget, hitting the woodwork from a penalty and having a goal ruled out. However, I think he should have had a penalty. Ogbonna had his arms all over him, and subsequently, Ollie Watkins was trying to get out of the whatever he was doing, and his arm was, out here, and that was what was called offside. I think it should have been a penalty. I think it was the same incident as Harry Maguire against, I don't know who it was, but he had his arms around him. There was no VAR. It got called against. I think Ollie Watkins was very unlucky. Villa switched off both of West Ham's goals at the start of each half. It's a shame. Grealish again, outstanding for Villa. He was my man of the match. It was a tough win for the Hammers as well. They sit 5th. They're flying under everyone's radar at the moment.
Yeah, I really like how West Ham are playing. Mazuaku is really dominating that left side of the pitch, pushing up really high and sending in those balls to people like Haller. And it showed when... who assisted Bowen? No, it was Ben Rama. There was a really good tactical decision which I spoke about last week, where you're either playing Fornals and Antonio, and if that's not working, they have Benrahma and Haller to provide a bit of pace on the wings to cross them in, and they changed in the 45th minute, and scored within 40 seconds. Benrahma, I think that will be the formation going forward. I don't know where Antonio fits in, as Bowen is also playing really well, or they just keep rotating those two. I had Aston Villa to win this. I had Ollie Watkins anytime goal scorer, and I had yes to both teams to score. It was one of those what-if games. You count that penalty with Watkins. Is it a draw? It's like... so many things could have gone either way. Yeah. Then I have the 3 fantasy players for last week, which I recommended everyone to get in their side. Roberto Firmino. Fucking useless. Oh my God. Lost the ball 3 times. 0 key passes. 0 score involvements. Absolutely horrendous on the day against what I would have thought would have been a really nice backup to a great game last week. Flick him from your fantasy side if you took my advice. Iwobi. Now, he wasn't that good in fantasy, didn't provide that much fantasy cheddar. However, 1 key pass, 2 interceptions, 2 clearances. He didn't get up the pitch as much as probably I would have thought. However, that's probably due to how attacking the Leeds defence is, and Ancelotti would have wanted him deployed a bit further back and play a bit more defensive, which would have actually resulted in a clean sheet if Rafinha didn't score that banger. That one in the bottom right-hand corner. Left-hand corner. Still an okay performance, but not fantasy worthy to continue. If you took my advice last week, get him out of your fantasy side. However, the last one, which I'm very happy with, Adama Traore. Started last week, thought he was going to play well, backed it up. He's the man. 3 key passes, 2 completed dribbles, 1 accurate cross, 1 interception, and 5 aerials. However, did get an yellow card, so that detracts some fantasy value. However, with Jimenez out, it does move Neto or Fabio Silva into that centre role. I reckon Adama will keep his spot on the side for a few more weeks again, especially with upcoming fixtures. He's too explosive to keep him on the bench, and I recommend you keep him in for next week.
That's it for game week 10. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you for the pre-week show very soon.